Yo, and welcome to yet another different type of video. Again. Are you a VRChat Twitch streamer Andy or a YouTube content person like me? You want to improve your recording / stream quality by a ton? Or do you just want to make cool pictures in the VRChat? This thing is called VRCLens. It's made by Hirobiki. This isn't a VRChat client or anything. No, this is a camera you attach to your model that allows you to shoot really cool drone shots. So I'd say without further ado, I'm going to show you how to get it installed and what you can do with it. Let's go. Wow. This setup guide assumes you know how to make an avatar already, so here we go. Purchase and download VRCLens off the Boost store, link in the description. There's also a text-based guide on the store page for help. Simply export the package into your Unity VRChat avatar project. Navigate to your VRCLens prefab as followed and drag it into your scene. The folder should be called Hirobiki. You'll be greeted with 4 things you need to position correctly. Place the green camera next to your head like so. Place the white line directly between the eyes. Place the camera around the hand that is your dominant hand. For this instance, we're using the right hand. Drag the cursor to the finger of your non-dominant hand. Now select your VRCLens prefab in your scene and drag your VRChat model into the target avatar slot. Now it's time for the settings. Select the max blur size according to your GPU. Next we can change the rotation of certain objects in the scene. Change the cursor so it actually points away from your finger. You can also change the rotation of the camera, but for me that causes a problem with the stabilization tool, so use at own risk. I finally recommend changing the size of the preview so you can read it better in VR. Now these settings are what the camera will be switched to by default. I recommend copying my settings, except keep the zoom dial unchecked since the latest update has a better tool for it. Once that's done, you can click apply VRCLens, upload your avatar and use it. And that was the speedrun. Alright, in order to open up your VRCLens tool, you can go into your menu wheel and click enable. As you can see, we are currently holding the camera and that's pretty cool. If you want to make a screenshot or a picture directly from the camera, you have to open up your actual photo camera from VRChat and use that to select the picture. It's basically being mirrored over to the VRC camera, so that's kind of how it works. The focus point tab is for desktop only, so we'll get into that later once I get to the desktop part of it. Thanks. Changing the focus on VR, it just uses the cursor that's stuck to your finger. The next tab is quick selfie, which basically flips the camera around so you can take a quick selfie. Holding down the selfie button zooms it out a bit more. You can also drop the camera like the VRC camera and you can walk around it, look around it. There it is. It's pretty cool. The zoom feature also exists, but it's a lot better with the zoom dial unchecked, as it's a lot smoother and you can actually transition quicker and it looks better. Alright, let's explore the settings menu. This is a lot of things like auto exposure, depth of field, stabilize, filters, etc. If you know your ways around cameras, the auto exposure and depth of field should be pretty self-explanatory. There's also a filters tab that allows you to filter out your avatar and do some other cool features with it. On the picture style tab, you can change the color grading of your image between 4 presets. They tend to mess with things like contrast and whatnot, so you can make your image look a bit different. With the bottom option, you can change it from landscape to portrait mode. And back. The stabilize tool is a really cool feature that allows you to stabilize the movement of the camera between 2 options. One that smooths it out and one that keeps it straight. The last option being very useful for drone shots. Finally, in settings there's a more tab, which is just a bunch of things like on-screen guides and whatnot. These will potentially help you making better pictures. From the main menu there's the advanced tabs. You can change things here like manual exposure change, manual focus change. This is all very useful if you know how focus and exposure works in photography, which I don't know anything about, sadly. Avatar AF basically makes it so that the focus is always on your player model. Before exploring the drone settings, we'll check out the More tab. Here you can hide your lens. You can change where the camera is mounted, either next to your head or on your hand. You can also drop the camera stuck to your avatar. This is an experimental feature, so I don't really know how it works yet. You can also set it to stereoscopic 3D if you want to make quick 3D videos. The final option here is called Direct Cast. This is your favorite option. This mirrors your camera directly to your VRChat desktop window application. So you can record things like drone shots, and pictures, and stream things much better, which is really cool. Alright, drone settings. There's a lot of options here, and I definitely recommend you give it a shot by testing around with it first, because this is quite complicated. You can obviously move it back and forth, left and right, and you can also move it up and down if you do the finger gun pose at the same time when moving. You can also draw pivot points that the camera can spin around in, and you can also move these pivot points with another feature that is called Move Pivot. This is very useful if you want to get a circling shot of a specific thing, and it looks very nice once you get it working. Here's a quick example of how the pivot point works. It spins around the point and it allows you to create really cool shots by having it come in. You can also make it pivot around yourself. So in case you are one of them VRChat streamers, this is going to be very useful. Here's the final feature that comes with the drone called Hand Rotate. This makes it so that the camera actually rotates with your hand movements. This allows you to actually create moving shots really efficiently. So yeah, this is very nice. Now we're on to the desktop part of things. Alright, I don't actually have to talk much about the desktop version, other than you can open up the menu with the R button. Almost everything works the same on desktop compared to VR, so that's very convenient. You can change the position of the preview or make it full screen with the Shift, F1, F2 and F3 buttons. With the full screen one and direct cast enabled, you can get really nice drone shots from desktop. You can actually adjust the focus point on desktop by using the focus point tab that's unavailable in VR. Just like this, it's really simple. The only option that doesn't work is the hand rotate tool that is usable in VR, since there is no VR controller to base the movement off, sadly. But you can still get some simple drone shots off on desktop, so that's very nice. So yeah, oh no, you can do everything on desktop that you can do in VR, so this is suitable for both VR and desktop users. And that about wraps up this side of explaining how this thing works. I'd say it's time for some drone shots. Now it's time for me to be annoying and talk over these drone shots. The tool itself is 1200 yen, which rounds about to 10 bucks or 10 euros. It's an extremely useful tool, and it's very easy to apply on your model, and I definitely recommend it if you're into VRChat content creation. If this video has been helpful or informative, please consider liking and subscribing, since it really helps me out. I make weird VRChat world exploration videos every Saturday, and the drone shots really help me boost that performance up on like how to show off the map just a bit more. So I definitely 100% recommend it. I have nothing else to say. It's probably the best tool you can get for VRChat. I'd say that wraps up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna go, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. There will be a new weird VRChat world exploration video. Alright guys, peace.